Hello there. It's been a while. After a long while and a lot of hiatuses, I have finally gotten the opportunity to talk, or rather, speak a pretty script to you, because I'm not good at speaking and tend to stutter and make a lot of mistakes. So I apologize. I also don't have the best accent, so I might make a lot of errors. I have had this entire montage in mind just in case I would eventually talk about my own stuff since I am comfortable showing my actual face. So, have a virtual representation of another fellow lady instead. Today marks my 20th birthday, and instead of writing a post about it, I decided to make a lengthy video explaining about not just such, but also about a lot of other things going on in my life that I haven't talked as much in posts. At least from what I'm seeing, not many people read the post, so I'm forced to make a video just so. I would like to start with a very cryptic post I had made a while ago asking for help. Behind the scenes, a lot of people know now I'm safe, but if you weren't aware yet, which is unlikely, but I'm still going to reassure it, I am now safe and have received help from an NGO regarding my situation. Due to legal circumstances, I'm not allowed to talk as much about my case, so I'll instead put a link down to the legal document pertaining to my case, which explains the situation and what happened in the end. I have been trying to look after myself for almost a year, which including having to wear dresses I felt comfortable in, as well as growing out my hair. I can't really show you my face here because, well, unless you've discovered it is actually my profile picture, it is kind of unsafe to. But you can actually see how far it's gone. I don't know how to convey my condition here to you because frankly, the internet has been very toxic and I dislike such behavior. But if you know, you know. It's been a wild ride growing up as myself, and I also got to learn a lot from this journey. I hadn't worked on YouTube as much because, unfortunately, I'm very much struggling with both that situation and my poor mental health. It's harder to work on videos, if at all, because I do not feel energetic and excited to work on these animations. I will be talking about this in the next section. In my personal life, I have been doing stuff like pursuing a degree in arts, procrastinating my work with my friend, apparently touching rest because it's actually very nice, sometimes getting the courage to actually work on videos, and we do not talk about that. YouTube for me has been particularly stressful after 2021, especially after I left post 13 and started to learn more about myself. There's only been a few seasonal animations because, quite frankly, I don't really feel like people appreciate the work I do as much as others. The community for such has been saturated with many channels trying to be the next Post 13, which is quite frankly intriguing and also very much confusing. Part of me have been exhausted making these videos because they're the same thing over and over, and that's not really fun. It's among one of the reasons that led to the rebranding a year ago, not only because I wanted to let go of my past as I am no longer that person, but I want to be different. Whether it be themed intros for seasonal animations, overlay for track animations, and even graphics at times. Even then, it felt quite tiring to make videos, especially given my situation at the time, as well as now. It is easy to say that passion is always key for a channel's success, and that's mostly true. It can, however, be very difficult to maintain such when a lot of things happen both behind the scenes and in the community. For instance, I haven't been financially stable for a few months, and not only do I have to upgrade some of the storage stuff for video production, but I also need to start HRT after a while once I'm stable enough again. When you are pitted with such problems, and others that I can't speak about, it becomes hard to feel like you want to make videos. People know me as that person who made the controversial videos about stone stalking and making fun of everything going around it. And while some may see it as dark or crude humor, I felt really uncomfortable whenever someone kept asking me about why I stopped making such videos or when I would make such again. Truth be told, I decided to let go with this series after another fellow animator and friend FCX Animations also decided to stop a while ago. Since then, I have grown more distasteful towards my own work. and it hurt when many wrote me off because I hadn't stopped working on such. I know some of you are already fond of my past work, but if I'm honest, I have moved on from it, as not only did it felt very mature, but it also quite literally felt like a content farm. Despite having different lines or whatever, it also did not help that some of the lines from the series came from someone who ended up being a mass shooter. Animation has been something I enjoyed doing when I actually did. The time when I worked for the Indian Ocean Cycle Animation nearly 3 years ago to create a software energy bar, and that was very reminiscent of the notable to scale from their past videos, was really fun. Seeing ideas grow into reality is what makes working on such videos fun. In fact, I actually have them in my mind whenever I space out the tone of the animation, as well as what music to use, when to do the jump cuts, and so on. It's pretty much planned out well before the animations nowadays. Among them is the 2024 Atlantic animation, which I have so far mostly planned out the music for. Yet it's kind of also stressful to work on these things, knowing that if I talk about it publicly, people would steal it and claim it as theirs. There's a reason why I never disclosed about my current animation anywhere except in the group chat with a few friends who are nice and also in Discord. Don't get me wrong, I actually like people doing something new. One of my fellow friends, a resident Australian accent, I hope that is the correct pronunciation, actually wrote his entire animation format after I talked about it in the group chat, which I'm kinda happy about. There are, in fact, a lot of people who want to make something but can't and instead resort to being the next 413 Nexon. Or even me. I was watching a Rumble Guy's video about plagiarism in quote time yesterday. One of the lines at the end stuck out to me a lot. There are people who want to fill their lives with something because they feel they have nothing. And some even go as far as being the next person instead of being themselves. I generally do not want to plagiarize given the fact the video is literally about plagiarism, and all I want to add is that I really hope people can do something new. The tropical cycler animation scene, as much as I have influenced a lot of it outside other channels, is very stale. Even Force 13, who used to make great animations, feels different. When I started working on the current animation, it felt like it wouldn't do well, or it would pretty much be copied upon by everyone. The style in it is different compared to my previous animations. And while I like making new ideas, some of the things in this new animation is actually improved versions of already made ideas in the past. If I ever get to make a behind the scenes video, I'll probably explain in front where I got this ideas from. That said, this has been the most difficult work I have ever done, not because it's genuinely massive or anything, but because I was not feeling well. I wanted to say that I felt really pressured to finish it as fast as possible, yet I also didn't. I wish to see the final product, yet I can't get to finish it and end up waiting even more. It even led to someone telling me that my channel is basically just one serial animation channel. It kind of hurts because I don't want to make mass products on my end. I'm not a robot or a talented animator who can churn out animations like it's the end of the world. I'm just a regular old lady who, like you, is human and vulnerable. Over the last 2 years, I had gone through quite a lot, including the case from late June this year. Adding college onto that, it is very difficult to maintain balance with my mental state. I study arts, which is weird because I actually used to draw in my childhood, but until recently it stopped. My field is, funnily enough, animation and graphic design. Keeping a line between doing work and taking care of myself and not letting myself go is crucial. And while that is also done, I also had to tackle with issues like procrastination and a lot of fears. Fortunately, I'm glad to say that I actually have mostly finished the current video I'm working on, which I can't really say much about for mystery purposes. While some elements are new, like I mentioned earlier, the icons are the same, at least for now. It's challenging to say or put deadlines and force myself to work very hard and all that, but truthfully, I wish to work on my own pace without rushing stuff. Valerie from Valerie some Blue Sky also helped me out with my work. So, all credit to her and shameless work, but please do check her stuff out. To reiterate once again, I have been away for quite a while to focus on my own life and also learn a lot from my friends and peers. As much as the taste of fame seems nice, truth is, it is not. I enjoy seeing people take inspiration from me, and at the same time, I feel like I'm more susceptible to being stressed over videos because of simple numbers on a screen. There have been times when I felt like I should just restart from scratch, or even leave the community and start elsewhere because some of the people here are very cruel. As much as I feel neutral regarding the community, I will still be making videos. I will also see whether they do anything or not. Feels bad when you put in so much effort only to see it not reach a lot of people. Even more so when you spend weeks making the thing you envisioned only for it to be used as fodder for other people to take ideas from. I would like to talk about the usage of generative AI or machine learning algorithms in some of these videos. Some of my friends occasionally post links to videos with comments clearly made using things like stable diffusion or Jonny or literally any of the new hot and spicy LLM tools. It's critical to understand many of these tools, including ChatGPT, use data from the internet without the permission of its owners to generate said stuff or prompts. While I actually do not mind using the ChatGPT service to, say, learn code or expressions for motion graphics, some of which I have also learned, I will say that I really don't endorse these kinds of tools. When it comes to generative AI, I am very strongly against it being used for these kinds of stuff. There could be an argument where it could be used for conceptualization, and as far as it doesn't get used as your own work, that's alright. I see a lot of people who pretty much think these images are cool, and to be fair, I understand. It's best to assume that these usages are not malicious as compared to, say, a giant corporation. That being said, I highly recommend learning thumbnail design. Trust me, it really is fun to make your own identity using such. This is how this channel's branding is going at least. It really isn't overly cool. If you are a key viewer, you may have noticed that there are no updates and on this day posts. They are not discontinued. However, it's not been worked on for a while. Not only because I'm very much busy, but the other person who worked for me was removed because of serious allegations. When time permits, I am thinking of reworking about these chambers to reflect the channel's brand identity. If you're still here and listening to me reading this document, thank you. I wish to speak from my own heart, but I'm not perfect, and that's fine. Accepting that has been difficult but fruitful. I really can't promise when I can make the next videos because my examinations are coming up very soon. But I would love to disclose that the 2023 seasonals have not been scrapped and will eventually be made. So it may come alongside or after the 2024 seasonals. This has been, once again, the longest work I've ever done. As much as I resent for not having as much energy as other YouTubers in terms of work, I'm very much glad that this is soon coming to a close, and hopefully future animations will be faster to make, as I've learned a lot of useful stuff with Premiere Pro and After Effects. I'm also aware that a few people want me to animate stories like Helene and Milton. While I would love to push it out now, I want to make something quite unique and different, so it may take a while. I hope you understand. Speaking about learning a lot, I actually am aware that a lot of people are asking me about my icons at work, and surprisingly, a lot of people have also been watching the old tutorials I have made. While the icons are not public yet, I have thoughts of redoing as well as adding more onto the suite of tutorials that I made years ago. Lastly, I would like to express my condolences for many people in East Asia and the United States because of storms like Hurricanes Helene and Milton, Typhoons Yagi, Trami, otherwise known as Christine, and almost all the storms in the Western Pacific afterward. Not to mention, there's also been storms like Hurricane John that came out of nowhere. It's been a very tough and unbelievable late season, not just because of how badly these storms affected these countries, but also some of the new temporary records these storms broke. I think this is a good time to close my statement. It's been thoughtful to talk to you, the viewer, about the things I have been doing for the last few years. When the time comes, you will see again and talk about other fun and entertaining stuff. I've had a few plans in my mind about what kind of content to make that isn't animations. So if I ever can, it will be fun working on it as well. If you are a fellow creator, don't push yourself. It's fine to do things your way. And it's also completely fine to take the break. whether it's short or super long. Your mental health matters, and not taking care of such will make things quite difficult. At the end of all this, you do matter, and you deserve to be loved. I hope you have a great day.
NOAA expects a near normal hurricane season that includes 12 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 that could become hurricanes, and 1 to 4 that could become major hurricanes.